Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
all
soon.
time. We got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
Hey everybody, good evening. Good evening. I hope everyone's doing good. I know I had a live this morning. I said I would come on here at night. I assumed that I would miss so much with being out and about today, but honestly, I've been reviewing all the feed stuff and all the Twitter pages, Reddit and all that good stuff over the last few hours. And it doesn't look like I missed all that much. It's just more of them running through scenarios. What happens if this person wins? What happens if America wins? What happens if Matt wins? What happens if Matt decides to team up with Cameron? What happens if we keep Jag and then Jag teams up with Red? What happens is, like, they do so much thinking and so little playing the game. This group is probably the most analytical game. I mean, one of the most analytical groups that I've ever seen on this show. I mean, I haven't seen all the seasons, but out of the seasons that I've seen, no group thinks more about analytics than they do about actual relationship building than this one. It's amazing. It amazes me. So where we are on the Mimi scale today. Give me 1 second so I can show you guys where we are on the Mimi scale. Today we are on the bored Mimi scale. The feeds have apparently been off for, I don't know, 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. From what I was reading, they were giving them alcohol. I guess they were letting them celebrate Labor Day, and then they just cut the feeds off. I've heard that that's the reason why they cut the feeds off. I don't really know, but I was watching them earlier on, and yeah, it was just a lot of what if scenarios. Something that I'm seeing happening is that Cirie is planting seeds of doubt in everybody about Felicia. She's telling everybody that Felicia talks too much. I'm wondering to myself, because something that Jared and Cirie do quite often is they will take things like that and they will spread them around the house, but it seems like nobody ever goes to the person that they're talking about and says, hey, Cirie said this about you, or hey, Jared said this about you. That's just not something that I'm really seeing happening. Corey continues his mission to downplay America to the group of especially Izzy, Cirie, and Jared. I heard him earlier today when I was watching the feeds. I think he was telling Izzy, he was like, America has nobody in this game, basically, except for me. So he was basically saying that to try to say, you don't have to worry about America because America is on America Island. And the only person who is cool with America and willing to work with America is me. So you don't have to worry about her. He continues to maintain his position of downing her for the sake of keeping her in the game, which for whatever reason, it seems like Corey has also masked his threat level by saying that he doesn't have a big group to work with. And it's true that he doesn't have a group to work with, but you can win without having a group within the first 3 weeks. So I think that he's actually doing a pretty good job of managing his threat level. Hi, Miss Nappy Kid. So not a ton has gone on today. Another thing that I've noticed is that the outer group outside of the 7, and I'm doing the bunny quotes on the 7 because they're not a legit group, but outside of the 7, I don't think that they informed the rest of the house that they were going to be putting up Jag as a pawn. I saw a conversation that Bowie was having with Matt and Sari, and Bowie was saying Jag looked really calm, almost as if he knew he was going to be a pawn. And Cameron was saying the same thing to Matt. He was saying Jag looked like he already knew that he was going to be a pawn. You can tell the difference in reaction of somebody who knows that they're going to be a pawn versus somebody who was completely blindsided. For reference, check out how Heisem looked. Heisem was shocked and devastated. So I didn't see, obviously, how Jag looked in the veto because we will not see that until Wednesday. But if he looked calm, that means that he didn't really do a good job of hiding it. But who knows if he's trying to hide it. Now, from what I've been hearing, Jag is saying to people that he cannot trust Izzy and Sari. And I get that. We're still kind of just in a position now where none of the alliances are super strong. This is a duo season. Like I keep saying, this is like a duo season. So this is not a season that has a strong, large group. This is a season that each week could look very different depending on who wins the HOH. So what I see that the Sari side is doing a lot of is crunching numbers and trying to figure out, okay, if Corey happens to win the HOH next week, who could we get him to put up? If America wins the HOH next week, who could we get her to put up? If Blue wins the HOH next week, who could we get her to put up? This is the reason why you guys heard me last week saying that I hope America wins one, because I feel like of anybody there, America might be the one person left in the house that is willing to do the big move. Now, I don't know exactly who she would put up, but obviously the biggest move that you can do in the house is putting Sari on the block, and she keeps hinting at it, and I wouldn't put it past her to do that, and I wouldn't be mad at Sari going on the block. As much as I want Sari to win, the thing about the Big Brother game is it's not as fun to watch without seeing your favorite player, or even if she's not your favorite player, seeing one of the major players of the season under some kind of real pressure and real threat to go home. I want to see Sari sitting on that block at some point, and it seems like the only person with the balls to do that might be America, because Cam has been talking about it. Corey has been talking about it. Who else? Jag has even spoken about it. Felicia has spoken about it, but none of them are people that I think would actually step up and be the one. They would hope that somebody else would do it, and then if they saw that they had the numbers to get rid of her, they would probably hop on the numbers in an effort to blindside. But I don't see them doing it, on their own. Like if they got HOH, I don't see them doing that. I don't even see them doing that on the back end on a blind side. So there was not too many things going on. Jag went up as expected. Jag seemed to do some half-hearted campaigning to stay. I saw Jag having a conversation with Jared, where Jared was like, yeah, you're doing something for us and we're doing something for you in terms of the 7. You're doing something for us in terms of being the team player and taking one for the team and going up for the team. And we're going to show you that your loyalty to us is going to be rewarded by way of you getting the votes to stay. Is it a done deal? The Jag is going to go home? No, nothing in this house is a done deal. But is it the most likely scenario? For sure. For sure. Mimi is having a funny conversation with Izzy. Y'all know how much I love Mimi. Mimi is a sleeper for both winning the game, which I think might be a long shot because she doesn't even try to act like she likes those people. But if she stays in the house long enough, she's a sleeper candidate for America's favorite, I feel like. She was having a conversation with Izzy about how dumb these people are and just about their decision making and everything. I crack up every time Mimi says anything, or when everybody is tense around her and she'll just be laying in her sunglasses, just listening, observing. Mimi has figured out a way, it seems like, since the beginning, to just kind of block out the things that are going on around her, participate when necessary. She's like me when I'm at work. I think that's part of what cracks me up. She's like me when I'm at work. When the staff meeting is going on, I will be present as I need to be for the staff meeting. When we're doing group events, I will be as present as I'm supposed to be on a mandatory basis. But aside from that, your boy is not participating in anything because I don't care. I can't believe Cameron won veto. Cameron knows. Well, I don't know. I can't even say what Cameron knows because Cameron is a little bit delusional. When you hear him talk about the house, it's just, you're like, wow, where do you get your ideas from? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Cameron messed up the whole plan for the week because Cameron was the primary target, whether he knows it or not. And somehow Jag became the replacement target. But I think it could be a little bit of the butterfly effect, because I'm thinking to myself, the threat level of Jag, basically everything that Cirie thinks is what is running that side. And I think the reason that he views Cirie as that threat is because of the leaked information from Jared. Ultimately, this all stems from Jared. Jared is the core root of that problem, because I think Jag was trusting Cirie, but because of Jared's slip up, that's what planted that little seed of doubt in Jag's head. They can still send Red home, but thus far, there's a 100% track record of their original choice going home. Despite the fact that we call them the flip-flop house, or I call them the flip-flop house. They tried to make a play to save Riley. Riley went home. They tried to make a play to save Hisam. Hisam went home. Jag was a unanimous vote. And I think that the only people who even knew that the power was going to be used to save him were Jared and Cirie. So thus far, even though they keep talking about flipping, they've never done so yet. Everything has been a unanimous vote so far, which is really annoying. We need a non-unanimous vote for once. I agree. I hate how they played Matt into using the power right away. I also agree with that. It's his power. I wish that he had held on to it. I wish that Jack had gone. And I wish that Matt had held on to it for a rainy day, which obviously wasn't this week because he's not nominated. And he wasn't nominated for power veto in the veto ceremony either. So he wouldn't have needed it for himself. But just holding on to it this week would have just been overall better for his game. They flushed it out. Cameron even said that. He was like, okay, it sucks that my week was kind of made irrelevant, but at the same time, we flushed out the invincibility thing, and that means that now nobody can use it anymore. It's gone. I think so too, which really just makes this feel like a wasted week. Quite honestly, Miss Nappy Kid. Because the thing is, imagine we have 2 weeks. The same guy ends up on the block. And we get the same vote. Then we're sitting here like, man, we just had 2 weeks of the exact same thing. And I think that's the reason why the conversations today were on the board Mimi scale, because what is there to really talk about? Okay, we're gonna go back through the scenarios again. What if Corey wins HOH? What if Mimi wins HOH? What if Bowie wins HOH? What if Sari wins HOH? What if Felicia wins HOH? Who are they gonna pick? Who do you think they would use as a replacement knob? How many numbers do we have to get out this person? How many numbers do we have to get out that person? Which one should we get out first? What's the order of the next 4 people we should get out? What happens in the jury? Who should we get out before jury? Who's the first person we should get out when we get to jury? It's like, all right, we just need bodies going out the door at this point. I need a double eviction like yesterday. Okay, big brother, I need Mr. B. I need a double eviction yesterday. Because this is how I'm feeling about those conversations, to be quite honest. Nothing exciting happened. This is how I'm feeling about all of these hypothetical conversations that they keep having. And I don't really blame them this week, to be honest, because you got Jag back in the house. Nobody went home. Jag is back on the block. And Jag is the primary target again for a second week. So unless you were gonna figure out some kind of other twist, there's no way you could really make this week exciting. It's insufferable. It's starting to become a bit bland. It is starting to become bland. And it did start off good, and I thought they were gonna do more, but the twists aren't twisting. The twists are not twisting for me. There's not enough suspense. There's not enough excitement. There's not enough arguments. There's not enough. I don't know. There's just not enough of anything right now. Someone needs to cause rift into that. And that's the other thing. There's people that are talking about each other, but nobody is bold enough to confront the other person. You got a bunch of people who like to avoid conflict, except for Izzy. But the thing with Izzy is that she has not really been at the forefront of any conflict since the time that Heisem left. We got people that like to gossip and chat in the corner, but they don't like to confront each other. We need conflict. I thrive off of the conflict. That's what we as Big Brother fans like. We like to see when they have conflict. We like to see when we have mixed votes, when we have things that we can actually be surprised about. Come on. Like we're what, 4 weeks in and we're all unanimous votes so far? Come on now. It would be epic if Izzy wins. Oh, that would be great. That will never happen. I mean, it could happen, but it wouldn't happen before. I don't think she would ever put both of them on the block, as a matter of fact. I think that if we got down to like 5, maybe we got down to like 5 or 6 and Izzy wins HOH, I think that she would consider putting one of them through the back door. But I could never see her in any scenario putting up the two of them next to each other. I could not see that. This season blows more than a porn star. So yeah, I mean, I believe the rest of this week is going to play out pretty boring and pretty predictable. I know that tomorrow and Wednesday, they're going to have a lot of talks of potentially flipping. Matter of fact, Sari even said to Matt, when she was talking to Matt today, she said, oh, we got a long week ahead of us. We still got Tuesday and we still got Wednesday and all day Thursday. So they know. They're bored out of their minds at this point, and they know that there's nothing really relevant to talk about this week, and even the people in the house are bored at this point. Give them some tie-dye, give them some wine or something. Give them something that makes this watchable. They definitely need to, but nobody's willing to take that move. Izzy, Matt, Red, Bowie, Jane, Felicia, and Cameron are all under Cerie's spell for sure. The only person who's not, you can add Corey to that list. The only person who's not under Cerie's spell really is America. And she's not fully under the spell. She's still somewhat under it. That's the whole house. I know, right? That's the whole house. I strongly disagree. I don't like. I've been seeing people say that this season is worse than BB24, and I'm like, BB24 is the worst Big Brother season I've ever seen personally. I'm sure that, I mean, I've heard that there is worse seasons, but I've seen about half the Big Brother seasons, and last season is by far the worst out of the ones that I've seen. And the only thing that was its redeeming grace, whatever you want to call it, is Taylor winning. If Taylor hadn't won, it was a season that I would have stopped watching as soon as she was out. And I don't stop watching seasons. Like, once I get into a season of something, good, bad, or otherwise, I keep watching it all the way through. But that season would not be one that I would have been able to finish. I feel like America and Mimi might be the only one. I don't know, though. Well, America, yes. Mimi, I'm just not sure what she's willing to do. Like, I have no clue what Mimi's going to do. Mimi is such a wild card. The issues that this... Exactly. There was so much going on in week 1 and 2. And now here we are 4+ weeks in. And it's fizzling out. There's not enough action at all. If they didn't evict Nicole BB24, I would have stopped watching it. Yeah, so I told y'all at the beginning this was going to be a very short update because there's not too much to update y'all on. I had more to update you on in the morning because a lot more happened last night than the whole rest of today. But I want to thank everyone again for tuning in. The feeds have been off. Let me just double check. The feeds are still off, and the feeds are on. They've put the feeds back on, so I'm probably going to check them out a little bit, but I'm very close to going to bed. So that's the end of my update, and thanks to everybody for tuning in. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And I will be back tomorrow. 100 days of Big Brother, and hopefully 100 days of me covering Big Brother. I've covered every single day so far. I have not missed a day. I have not missed one day. And I hope to keep that streak alive. Last year, I only covered about a third of Big Brother because I only started covering it in the last month of the season. But this season, I started from day one. And I hope to cover 100 days. And I hope to actually get my channel monetized before the 100 days. My goal is to have it monetized by day 60, which would be like end of this month in September. And all I need to do that is a few more watch hours. And I think as of now, let me check my subscriber count. I think it was 330 something the last time I looked. But I'm going to double check really quick. 336. So yeah, yesterday I think I had about 312. So I have gained about 20 something subscribers. So I need 164 subscribers and a few more watch hours before I get there, which is very doable. So thank you all again, and I hope everyone had a great day off if you had a day off. And I will definitely be here in the morning because I'm sure that something will happen between tonight and tomorrow morning. And if not, I will for sure be here at some point during the day because I cover Big Brother religiously while it's on. I'm committed to the season, whether it's boring or not. I'm still here. And have a good night.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on everything.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
But
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
Well, thank you.